Hello and welcome to this very high-level 1v1 Warno game between Kali, the exceptionally long name, and he's going up against TiberiusRancor, playing 56Y. So we'll quickly show you the deck reviews, and you can skip them if you want. You don't have to leave a very rude message telling me that they just shouldn't be there. You know you can skip them, right? Right, so this is the deck review for KaliLongName, and he's playing 82nd Airborne. So I covered this deck in the last game he sent, right? So I don't want to spend too much time on it. It's very similar to my own deck. There's just a couple things I disagree with, which we'll go through. So this is my deck. No, that's the wrong one. This is my deck. And basically, yeah, most of it I agree with, right? You've got guys in Blackhawks, like one card of guys in Blackhawks is so useful for scouting and so on. You know, Airborne. Two cards of fire, of these like grenade launcher type guys. I don't know about that. Two cards of TOW2, okay. The main issue is he's not got any satchels or flash. Now you got it. Like I bring both, but you should definitely bring at least one. Because what happens if you get into close range combat? Like I think the flash is sort of the easier to use one. You just sort of shoot all the flash at everybody, and then they're messed up. So I recommend that a lot. In terms of like 6 TOW2 teams, and then 18 of the other I think that's better. Or you could get rid of the 40 mil and get 12 of these, because at one vet, I think these actually, like, two of these will. Sorry, got a bit of static there. Two of these will beat one of these. This is 50 points, so yeah, you can bring one or the other, right? I bring the grenade launcher because I like it when the enemy dies, but these are kind of better in most cases. And the other thing was, so the snipers, yeah, they're useful, but wouldn't you rather have 6 airborne scouts in the grenade launcher vehicle for more anti-infantry? This you can bring with the Hellfire, but it dies so easily. I don't rate it personally. I prefer the regular scout, which I use more as a recon helo unless there's an offensive option. And then, yeah, the little birds I think are crap, frankly, but I'd rather get another Apache, but yeah, if it works for you, it works for you. And then, yeah, you don't have any good blanket bombers in this deck, so I'm now experimenting with the cluster plane, just because, like, so sometimes you'll see an AA piece, and it won't be seedable, and then it'll be in a forest or whatever, so, like, or the seed will fly past and they'll switch it on, and you can't really hit it. I suppose you could strafe it with this if you could see it, but if you know it's there but you can't see it, the only thing, like, you could try and snipe it with this, but that's very difficult. This is the best one at sniping an AA piece, even though it's crap. It's the best one you get. So I've been experimenting with bringing the CLU instead of the LGB, but it is what it is. His opponent is playing 56Y. I have a lot of games on 56Y recently. Very, very nice div. Obviously, you can build it however you want. You don't need 3 cards of supply on this div, frankly, so I wouldn't bother with that. And then this thing sucks balls, just don't bring it. So you want a smoke mortar instead. This is Tiberius. He absolutely hates smoke and he just doesn't do it. I've beaten him quite a few times because he just didn't smoke. Or I did and he didn't. And then, like, so is this good, really? Like, wouldn't you rather get the Metis? I know it costs more, but it goes further. Right. It's up to you, right? And this comes in the grenade launch. Like, this is really good, whereas this one doesn't. I suppose you could get it in this, but I don't know, it's personal preference. Like, both of them can work. And then, like, why is this in this transport? I don't understand that, really. So you want a cheap CV for the start, presumably, right? So I actually bring this one, even though it is a much worse CV. It's because you can bring 2 at the start for 60 points each and 100 kilometers now. Because yes, this is 10 points, but it's so slow. So for a 20-point saving across 2 of them at the start, but this is a better CV for like the mid to late game. But at the start, you want the cheaper one. But then you might say, well, you're only saving. It's like this is 70, whereas this would be 60, so you're only saving 10 points anyway per one. So yeah, this could work, I suppose. But it is very slow. You will be behind on the ticks. And then, yeah, like the Saperi Reese is nice. I don't bring it. I bring a second card of Dush RPG 22 at 2 vet in trucks instead, because the Afghansi has the RPO, so do you really need 2 cards of RPO? I don't really think you do. I mean, this is a nice unit, it's just where you already have something that does that. So, but you might say, well, I've already got something that's a big chunky squad, so yeah, whatever. And then, you might want to consider 2 vet in these if you're going to bring both of them, but like no Conkers. I think you'd rather have a Conkers. And then, yeah, this personally, I don't bring, I just bring another card of RPG 22 at in trucks. Like, this isn't so bad. This is a funny piece of kit, but yeah, I mean, it starts getting expensive, but like, this is obviously a lot cheaper than an Afghansi. Bring it if you want. Do I bring these? No, I don't think I do. And then the tanks, like, I mean, obviously it depends on the matchup. Generally, you don't need 8 of these, so you can just 2-vet that. No BRDM2, even though it's broken AF. Right, do you need this? What's it for? It's for, I need helicopters. Well, look, you've got a card of those. Oh! Oh, I'm beginning to understand now. Right, so yeah, there you do this, and it's like, oh, that's really expensive. So if you want it without that, then you can bring... I mean, there's lots of ways to slice an egg, as they say, but that's the better way to do it, frankly. I'm right. And then you can get rid of this, and you can bring something that matters, like 6 BRDM2s at 1 vet. They never should have buffed this. Everybody in charge of this decision should be thrown into a well. I've got all of their names. I know who it was. When I'm elected dictator for life, they're all going in the wood chipper. Oh, let's just make it 5 points cheaper. Yeah, okay, bro. Try it. It's broken. Just send them around the sides all game. And yeah, you can 2-vet this if you want. Is this in the grenade lot? Yes, it is. Yeah, 1-vet that. You don't need more than 5 of them. You can do this if you want. Try the Escortini. So you've got 2 AP because I saved you from having 3 cards of supply, which you really don't need on this div. And then, I mean, you can 2-vet this one if you want. I personally don't think that's a good idea, and I think you would benefit more from, like, instead of this 1 per card thing, that, sure enough, it one-shots heavy tanks, but, like, I mean, this is usually going to 1-pass a heavy tank as well, and you get 2 of them in a card, so I think it's better to do this, but, personal preference, right? Some people like losing. Yeah, I played 82nd recently, and I play 56Y a lot these days. It's a really good div, like a really underrated div, fits to my playstyle very well. One of the few kind of pack divs that is like a little bit lighter, as opposed to just being, I buy T72. Very powerful division. In terms of the way he's built it, I wouldn't really be doing it like this. You're sending helicopters into a guy with forward deployed rapid fire anti-aircraft, right? The jet ain't gonna save you from the Avenger. We'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. I'd be opening more on the ground. I'd get 2 T62s in mid. One of them would be the command one, and then you can just start hitting people. Basically, 80 seconds better in the early game. 56Y is definitely better in the late game, for a variety of reasons, which we'll cover as the game progresses. In terms of the deployments, we got a little bit of forward deployment here from Red. Spetsnaz Stinger. And then we've got these very expensive mega squads. We'll see if they survive the forward deployed enemy AA. And then behind that, we've got so CV, Plamier, Unspeakable One. So the great part about, like, I don't know if this was like a tournament game. I'd assume not. I assume it was a ranked match. But basically, it doesn't bring the Conkers. So maybe, like, if it was a tournament game against 82nd, you wouldn't bring the Conkers, because he's got nothing in his deck above 3 armor. So this will just one-shot everything he owns. But if it was a ranked game, you want the Conkers in the deck, really. Anyway, he's really expected a Helo rush, isn't he? Maybe he thinks it's... There's a guy going around called Hippie Idiot who always plays 82nd and then heli rushes people. And lately he's been changing his name to like other players' names. So maybe he assumes it's him. That's why he's got so much AA. Yeah. But yeah, look how light he is on the ground, because these are really expensive. You shouldn't be buying those at the start. This is more of a later game thing and so on. But yeah, this is a funny unit. Switching to his opponent. Plays a lot of 82nd, this guy. But yeah, good for him. I mean, 82nd's a pretty bad div, so I think it's all good. So usually what I do is 2 CVs, one for Golf Bravo, make sure it goes down this road, not down this road. And one for Hotel India Foxtrot, because then the Bravo one swings into Delta. Like, you're going to need 2 anyway, so... But yeah, you can do what you want. You can buy the second one later. It's just you go in past Bravo there without capping it, so... Yeah, big forward deployed, double Avenger, and then a bunch of fire teams and toes and stuff. Sorry, it's worth pointing out, I'm really ill. I've got a cold. I went to go visit my family, and I got ill. Right, no good deed goes unpunished. So that there will be editing, because I have to like blow my nose and stuff. And I'm sorry I sound even worse than usual. And then yeah, a couple of airborne fire teams, 40 mils, some snipers, right, and some LRS. So let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel drop. I'll edit that part out. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest level's worth 2,000 views. Channel memberships make up more than 3/4 of channel revenue. Ad revenue on YouTube's really bad. For a variety of reasons, one of which is most of you guys are pretty tech savvy, so something tells me you are not receiving the adverts, but you know, it's a dog-eat-dog world, as they say. You could wishlist my game on Steam, that's free, that'd really help me out. So, yeah, the Avengers are getting into position here. I mean, they're behind the hills, so... the hills, the urban hills, also known as houses. So, oh, no, he definitely sees that. So, yeah, doing a Helo opener against a div with forward deployed AA is... Frankly, I expected a lot better from Tiberius, to be honest. I'm not sure why he's done that. They're landing, though. This one got in. It's not going to get out. And, yeah, he should have opened much more conservatively. I don't really think he should be buying the arty this early, but Nonas aren't too expensive, but he's just spent his first minute's income on 2 Nonas and a Plamia, so if his opponent just buys ground-based stuff, which he is doing, and pushes him on the ground, right, the way you gotta see artillery in this game, it's an investment, you know, like when you invest in a company. Well, there you go. It's an expensive loss, that. It's like 100 points. So they take time to pay off, right? And so if you invest and your opponent spends all his money on a gun, then it's 1939 Germany moment, right? Where they just roll into you like, whoa, you spent all your money on tanks. I thought we were investing, bro. Oh dear. And then the counter-argument to that is obviously eventually Germany lost because they didn't invest. They spent all their money on tanks. This is more or less what happened. It's not too far from the truth. So yeah, I mean, blue's dominating on the front line, and red is buying arty, which he hasn't fired yet. Right, you want it to fire as soon as you purchase it. Issue with the Nona is it can't actually fire from spawn, but as soon as you purchase it, you want it to fire as soon as possible because it reloads while moving. So yeah, LRS should be Okrana's. I mean, that melter thing, I assume the LRS blew it up. So, is he going to load this early? What is going on? Wish he played like this against me. Anyway, these, as you can see, these are really good. But the issue is that you can get 2.5 forward deployed machine gun teams for the same price. And, you know, that's more HP and so on. I think he unloaded these a little bit early, but I guess he doesn't know. Well, he saw the fighter, right? So LGBT purchased, like, so that's just even less on the front line, even less on the front line. So that was very, very cheeky. He was trying to snipe this and just hope this doesn't hit him. Well, I mean, you know, that was a mistake, right? Is he gonna get out? He shouldn't do, really. Ah, 2-vet moment. So yeah, I don't agree with 2-vet fighters unless you play like a super aggro strat, and like the only person I've seen who does it who actually beats me is Mix90. Everybody else who does it, I just laugh at them and then I win. So, you know, maybe there is something to it if I'm still losing games against one person who 2-vets their fighters, but, you know, 300,000 copies sold, right? One guy is doing it. One guy is doing it successfully. Well, maybe he's just ahead of the curve, right? But generally, I think whenever I see a 2-vet fighter, I just burst into laughter. You know me, very cheery person. So, known as Claim a Kill, right? And the LRS went down as well to the LGBT. Kali needs to be a bit safer with his fighters, because, well, you know, that's just going to keep coming back and killing people. And the ground-based AA doesn't really have the range to kill. I mean, it might get... if you get enough stingers, it will eventually die. This is a stinger on wheels, basically, if you're wondering. It's got a machine gun that's better than every other 50 cal in the game. People say that's because of realism reasons. It might be realistic that it's better than every other 50 cal in the game, but that's not why it's the case. See, look, he actually brings the M60s as well. I don't know how this guy would cope if he came up against like a CEV division. He'd probably just die, because they would just be one-shotting all this stuff. Well, not quite. This has 4 HP, right? CEV does about 3 damage, so... So yeah, Tiberius playing very, very aggro into this Airborne div. He's actually on a +1 because his opponent sort of monged out on the CVs. All he's got to do is just play a bit slower. It's very, very hard to get into that mindset though, because you're like, oh, I'm losing, I gotta push. Like, I lost the game this morning, I was playing 5th Panzer. I'm trying to learn meta slop, basically. 5th Panzer is like the most mech slop division in the game, I think. And so I'm playing it to try and, you know, learn that. Because I want to win more, basically. And yeah, I played wide and I lost. And all I had to do was just slow down a bit, and I would have been fine. Anyway, do you notice how he's using the... is he going to smoke? He's been stunned now, so he might just die. What? No, he makes it. So have you noticed he's using the Blackhawks to scout? This is like very, very important. I think I was the one who told him to do this. I might not have been. Hopefully I was, though. So the idea is like the aero rifles are actually kind of crap, but they come in these Blackhawks, and you just use the Blackhawk to scout because it's got 10% ECM. You can still sell it even though it's got guns on it. It's very fast. It's got 8 HP. You just use it to scout AA positions or just whatever, right? And if you come into it, because like an Igla can't one-shot it, you would, like, not even an OSA can one-shot it. And it's 10% ECM, so they miss a bit more than you'd expect as well. And so you just send it over, and oh, I'm getting shot, you send it back. Like, if it dies, it dies. And then as you start getting your attack helos up, you know, your Cobras, your Apaches, then you can... The guy had a death wish, just went to join his friend there. So yeah, he needs more AA. He needs to move this now, because, you see, Tiberius has pinged it. He's probably going to hit it with the Nonas. There it is. Needs a recon in here so he can get that corrected shot. The thing with Nonas is they kind of suck, so you need to have them really, really close. Like, it should honestly be up here. And then it would have a much tighter dispersion, and then it would do a lot more damage, and it should have a CV next to it, but... You know, that's easier said than done. Because he doesn't have many cheap CV options. Or any, really. So I'm not sure what happened there. Like it just completely. Oh, I suppose it was aiming for this one. It's just I thought it was shooting here. It didn't do anything. So yeah, they run out of ammo in 4 volleys, and yeah, 6 salvo length is a total pain in the neck. It's not an advantage unless your opponent is a single-celled organism that doesn't react to light. Um, you know, you're gonna shoot, and then after like 3 bullets, he's not gonna be there anymore. Either because you killed him, or because he's moved. And so you see, oh, I've been hit, and so you just land this one, right? Oh, okay, or you just die. And then, you know, ping this, ping this. Well, that could have gone a lot better. But you get the idea. You get the idea. So yeah, Toe 2. This will survive a Toe 2 hit from full HP, but I think at this point, if it hits it, it's just going to die. And it's missing a lot. You wouldn't expect that. So yeah, they always need supply with them. They always need a CV next to them. They always have to be really close, and you got to use like return fire so that they both shoot at once. Oh, it survived. It survived with 1 HP. So that was very optimistic. I guess the LGBT like these haven't fired yet, and I think that's first volley. So Red just playing too fast. You got 30 minutes left, mate. It's very, very hard to get out of this mindset. I gotta attack, I gotta attack, I gotta attack. Well, yeah, but if you just attack slower, right? Like, look at this. You're just asking to die here. I'm surprised nothing's shooting at them. It's actually working, but yeah, the air rifle should just sit back. He's got cover switched on, right? So it'll automatically jump back in the building. You really need to sort that out. You need to bind the hotkey to turn this off in 1 click. Otherwise, you have to click this twice, and you have to do it slowly. If you click it too fast, it only registers 1 click. So yeah, you can play with auto cover on if you want, but you gotta bind that hotkey to have it switch off immediately, because then you can hide behind, like right behind here. With the cover on, you'll be like, oh, a building, and he'll just jump back in and get shot again. So, like, a big part of Airborne is that kind of abusing LOS to kill the vehicles when they get too close, right? If you don't do that, you're gonna lose. I mean, 80 seconds kind of bad anyway, so. Last time I played against Kali was on this map, actually. I was on his side. I was second UK. And I just sat there until he ran out of units, and then I attacked at the end. So I wouldn't buy 2 at once, right? Is this coming for the... This is a huge mistake. Well, now he's just going to die for no reason. Oh, okay, the Stingers... I guess these weren't in range. But yeah, you'd want a Toe 2 in here, or a Humvee Toe 2 in here. Right. We could even park it in this tree line, or you could move this one over and buy another one. If you notice, he's using an empty Humvee just to scout for, like, super cheap, just prevent somebody getting around the sides. The problem is, I think if it gets captured, it doesn't give you a notification. If it dies, it goes, you know, raw. But if it gets captured, I don't think it tells you. So unless you're looking... Yeah, I don't think you notice. I do need to double check that, but I believe that to be the case. So, blue on the +1. Red's not in a bad position, though. He just needs to, I mean, well, needs to, like, stop losing his units, right? 10101 that. If you die, you're dead. Truly an incredible insight from Herr Hippler. So, yeah, is this going to do anything? So the idea behind the Black Hawk is you send it for one and get shot, you send it back, and then use these artillery, which are even worser than the Noners. But they're even cheaper, so... So he's finally got some ATGMs up here, but... I think this won't shoot back. And yeah, you just, like, land them now, and then... You know, you want to bait the enemy fighters into flying into them so you can kill the enemy fighters. So this is working, I guess. Is it what? Are you gonna shoot that? What just happened? I mean, it all worked out. You were saving that one for later, you know, don't play with your food. Anyway, the other thing with Airborne is as soon as one of these gets a kill, because it's 100 points, or as soon as it just shoots, you need to move it, right? But yeah, it's not looking great for Tiberius now. He took too many bad trades. He could still sort it, it's just, there's a lot of units here now, so unless he changes his approach, as in, like, you know, don't just walk into an open field and die approach, like, he needs to work more around this area, because he's got this zone, right, and he's pushed up pretty far, so you set up here, and you push this way, right, and you hold here. You do not walk into the open field and get shot. So, do you see he's shooting this, right? It's not particularly surprising. Look. Is this going to do anything? Right, it's doing something. And, yeah, blue can be smoking as well. Like, he can smoke over here so this tank can't shoot him. So we can isolate this and sort this out. That sort of thing. You see Tiberius is hiding behind the house. I mean, the American sniper's getting a book deal against him, but it was a nice idea. Wow. It's not sped up or anything, that just killed him really fast. I mean, I suppose it's max fair. I do like the planes. 56Y is really easy to air bully. Well, okay, it's not easy to air bully, but it can be air bullied quite successfully. Like, he won't have even seen that, even if he had a Strela 10M. It's not got radar, so the vision is terrible, and that's why you don't 2-vet your best fighter, because then it dies, and then you can't have it up for the whole game, and the planes come and kill you. Right, sorry about that. Obviously, it's like, well, why don't you just wait till you get better? Well, for starters, there are a lot of Tier 4 channel members, and I'm very, very happy about that. But also, like, I don't really have anything else to do. Like, what am I supposed to do? Sit around feeling sorry for myself? Anyway, he's moving the arty after shooting it, which is very intelligent. And he's sort of got a CV to put next to them, but not really. Basically, you want to shift F this on the car, not the arty piece. Because when you load into the arty piece into the car, the arty piece disappears and it loses the order. And then you want them closer to each other so that they can both benefit from that. And then, yeah, you want both of them shooting the same target because, like, this... I mean, it's only got 1 HP, but it might not even die. Like, do you see he's constantly moving these? Although I'm pretty sure Tiberius was targeting the building he just ran into, so... So yeah, sometimes it's very funny. Sometimes you can over micro. That was an over micro. So he did get that unspeakable one. But yeah, against Airborne, you just got to play slow. Make sure you don't lose too much at the start, and just do aggressive attrition on a narrow front and defend on. Do you see? He won't have even known that was. Do you notice he didn't smoke? It's because he didn't see it. It's because for at the very least he does need a Strela 10M. Oh, this one's still alive. He does need a Strela 10M because that's got better air optics than this. If I believe, I might not be 100% on that. And so you would have seen it sooner and he might have smoked. But yeah, you just need to have a fighter up at all times, because that's the second time that's happened. He's lost 2 CVs to that plane now. So yeah, 56Y can be air bullied. It's a weakness of the div, one of its few weaknesses. It is, I think it's quite a strong div. A lot of that is... It fits into my playstyle a lot. If it is a lighter div that sends stuff around the sides. The thing is, if you're against a div that's even lighter than you want to narrow your field of play and just defend on the sides and just mega blob one area, right? And the ATGM should shoot and 3 T62 should just go bam and it should just die, right? And then you just slowly work your way in, and the way the Airborne player tries to counter that is he surrenders and goes on Reddit to complain. No, he should start smoking everything so that the blob can't, all the units can't shoot him at once, and he can smoke and then run infantry with AT4s through the smoke. Like, so if you, it's hard to do. It's very hard to do, but it's your only option really. And he should constantly be sending stuff around the sides. Like, there should be an LAV coming back here, round here. Wait for the donor to shoot. Not sure why he split these up. Oh, no, the shot. Come over here. Bam, bam, bam. Kill, kill, kill. And then go hide at the back of a forest. He sends a helo over. You kill the helo. So, yeah. The different players have different conditions for different divisions, have different win conditions, they call it. I tried to stay away from this language. I shouldn't say this, but there are certain players who don't play the game a lot, but try to give a lot of strategic insight. And they use these words: tempo, momentum, win condition. And then you check their rank, and they're ranked 490 with a 50% win rate, and it's like, just shut up. Learn to play the game. You use the fancy words, people take you seriously, right? So look, he's momentuming his win condition. It's over. So do you notice he's actually making some... Like, now he's got a few units. He can actually make some ground here. But, yeah, I mean, he's just kind of feeding now, actually. He's just having yeah, this has only got 4 HP, so... I mean, he's definitely going to die here, but if he loses the fighters, that's not good. Wow. Oh, that was the AT plane. Wow, what is going on? Why are they not dead? Okay, well, there you go. Okay, they died, right? So, I think that was actually a good trade for Tiberius, because he lost 2 cheap jets and got... If he hadn't got the F-16, it wouldn't have been worth it. But yeah, that helo's 120 points. If you lose a 160 point jet to kill the 120 point helo, it's not really worth it, unless, like, he's like, well, I need to keep this attack going. Well, if he just waited, like, 30 seconds, this would have shown up and killed it anyway for free. And now he doesn't. He's lost 2 of his fighters. So now the next time Blue buys a bomber, well, he's not going to be able to do anything about it. So Airborne players can bait you into wasting all your jets. That's the best Airborne players do that. They bait you into losing all your fighters. Look at this flanking fire. That's a cheeky spot. That get that side shot in there. So he's smoking with the Nonas, which you can do. It's just, I mean, these should obviously be shooting that. So yeah, the point I was making earlier is that the Airborne player, if he's got the micro, you're like, smoke, 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 and then you just run guys through the smoke corridor to blow up the Belazor. It's obviously, it's way easier to just buy mech and just forwards, backwards, but, you know, you gotta, it's an idea. It's something I do. I could be way better at it, but I do it. So, this has 4 armor, but this one-shots BMP2s. So Dragon 2s are a good counter to BMP2s because they one-shot them, whereas a 16 AP wouldn't, or a 17, you need 18, right? But BMP2s are a great counter to Sheridans, which cost more and are worse in basically every way. But yeah, I think at this point it's hard to give advice for Red because basically he's just made so many mistakes at this point that he just doesn't have any units left. So like he has to push, or at this point in the game he has to push or he's going to lose because you pass the halfway point. And so if the enemy's been on a +1 tick for half the game, for just over half the game, then if you get on a +1 tick for the rest of the game, well, you're going to lose, aren't you? So he kind of has to push, but he lost so many units in his early pushes that he's, like, how do you come back? He's lost his fighters, you know, stuff like that. Like, he just keeps losing units. It's looking not great for him at all. This isn't in a building. This has just been firing from the open for quite some time now. While it's reloading, you can put it in the building, and then you'll get... Wait, so is that going to be wasted now? Yeah, it just whiffed because he fired it and then he went in the building, if that makes sense. So it whiffed. But yeah, the deal with the Sheridans is, like, they're not good. As a unit, they aren't good. But you use them just to buy more time, right? Like, they're not cost effective at all, but you don't really have a better option, right? Of course, you'd love a Leopard 1 here, or a T-55, or a T-72. You don't get those, you get a Sheridan. So the Black Hawk should be in front of the Toko. That's unfortunate timing. Right, land this now. So the Black Hawk was going in front of the Tow Cobra to save the Tow Cobra, which he still hasn't landed, but I think the Tow Cobra got hit as the Black Hawk was going past it, and so they both took damage. So he had 3 effective hits he could have taken there, but he died in, 2 hits took out the Black Hawk. Well, whatever. Yeah. So the fact that Blue's increasing his tick at this point in the game is a very, very bad sign. If the Airborne players' win is increasing as the game goes on, that means mistakes have been made. The Airborne players should be getting weaker, not stronger. But yeah, it just went down to, like, the aggressiveness of Tiberius's push. Those helos at the start, that was kind of dumb. If he just played way slower, at this point he'd have, like, 4 or 5 of the... Well, we've seen so many of them die. He'd have, like, 7. And they'd all be stuck up here, right? TOW2 fires. Bam! No more TOW2. But, like, this push here was disastrous. You can see all the dead things, right? Or is that a tree? I think that might have been a tree. Here's a dead thing. But my favourite pop science YouTuber told me that trees are actually dead. Whoa, my mind is blown. I heckin' love science. Anyway. His push here did a lot of, obviously he's still losing. Did a lot better than his push here. I know it sounds really obvious. Don't walk through an open field and die. Whoa, wow, it's this piece of junk. We did speak about this in the deck review, how you should just never bring this ever, and it's a complete waste of time. But, obviously this game happened in the past, so I couldn't save him. So yeah, the reason he probably did it is because this is the reinforcement road, and so, like, this is where your units kind of end up unless you intentionally drive them past the enemy to get them up here and push this way. And so you do kind of just end up here, unless you have intentionality. But yes, this is looking pretty Jova as far as I'm concerned. I don't really see how he comes back from this. Like, he's smoking the corner again, but, I mean, it's easy to counter that. You just RT that. Right? 80 seconds pretty weak against smoke, actually. Smoke in the corner CVs, because it doesn't have a good blanket bomber. Spoke about this in the deck review as well. I've been looking into the cluster Aardvark. Even though it's garbage, you basically don't have a choice, because it's less garbage than all your other options. He likes doing this, doesn't he? I guess it's because he keeps attack moving into these buildings, and then they don't get in there. Right. So yeah, there's that HE cluster. So it's not actually good against vehicles. As you can see, it did nothing to that. But it's just junk. It's just crap. They just ruined it, basically. So it was OP. So they nerfed its price, its trajectory, its reload time, and then it was okay. And then they turned around and said, okay, it's not cluster anymore, it's HE cluster. So, well, you're going to undo all those other nerfs. What? What? So now it's just useless. Oh dear. This happens a lot in this game. A lot. A huge amount. See, now that's what you want to see happening. That's what Red should be doing to Blue. Blue should get in a building and his infantry should just get nailed by everything at once, right? Like, something like this is really good against buildings. Infantry and buildings, because the dumbfire rockets, even though it doesn't say this anywhere, actually have pure damage against, like, they ignore cover. It doesn't say it anywhere, but they do. And so, right, so yeah, he's just going to run into the smoke. Usually you'd need to, like, smoke your path in, but there's just not enough here to really stop him. What? Why is he... What? Okay. Why is he just throwing now? The throw order's been received. The money's arrived in the bank account from the Kremlin. It's got... Man, that's crazy. Can you believe that got destroyed by friendly fire? Can you believe that got destroyed by friendly fire? Or like it was like a washing machine fire or something? Wow, that's crazy. My allies are so incompetent. Anyway, this one makes it out. And yeah, the CV went down again, and, you know, this one's still here, so... Yeah, like, this just isn't winnable at this point. I mean, he's... Like, he's kind of figured it out 30 minutes into the game. Oh, yeah, these are really good against that. But yeah, that's what learning divs is all about. What's the worst that could happen? Somebody pays for somebody to cast your game in front of 2,000 people. Couldn't be me. Anyway, I was going to say, like, Blue should try and take this at some point. I'm not sure why he isn't... Like, you know, just stop. You can kill him. Like, I know these could shoot on the move, but you'd be doing twice the damage, basically, if you weren't moving. It's one guy. Well, I mean, you got him anyway. Be better off moving the supply that way as opposed to moving the infantry back. Obviously, he doesn't... He probably thinks there's more back here. And we can see that there isn't. There aren't, whatever, but he can't see that, so... So yeah, I assume he's going to surrender at some point. Because, like, he's just... I mean, every time he does this, it gets a bit worse for him. Because he's taken so many bad trades that each push is weak. Like, there's just more and more and more here, basically. So... Yeah, should have played slower. But then if you play too slow, you run out of time. So there's a kind of impetus to be like, I gotta attack, I gotta attack. It's really interesting to see, like, there's so few Airborne players these days that, like, the best players in the game don't know how to be Airborne anymore. Like, Tiberius has been playing since, like, the game first came out. Rank 43. Rank 21. But because people don't really play like, there are very few good Airborne players left, because Airborne is worse than just I drive my tanks forwards, backwards. So apart from, like, some Mix 90, this guy, very long name man, Tomato Addicted, and me, basically the only high-level players that play Airborne. And I don't play Airborne that much. I prefer divs like 56Y, which is, like, slightly heavier than Airborne. Anyway, I'll see you around. Oh, well, so does Tomato, actually. He tends to play 6E and TKS, but last time I faced him, he was on Corpus. So it's basically just Mix. Although he does that as well. Yeah, there's no Airborne players. There's 0 Airborne players. See you around.